Hi everyone. Probably the number one topic in the national program is always around fitness testing, testing in general, but in particular fitness testing, what it's all about, because it can cause anxiety, we understand that, but there's good reasons for doing it, like with most things we do. Footy's a game where aerobic fitness is key, especially in the middle of the ground, from half forward to half back in particular. You need to be a good runner to be highly successful, especially in international stage. To be competitive, you need to be comfortable running under duress. And the key to our success has been to have players that are fitter than their opponents, and the girls in 2014 worked extremely hard on that, and that was a key to their success. The fitter you are, the more contests you get to, the more impact you can have on the game, and the more impact you can have in a positive way for the team. And our game plan is based on moving the ball quickly into our forward line, and alternatively, when the opponent's got the ball, being able to chase down and put pressure very quickly. If we've got a team full of less fit players, you're not going to be able to put pressure on the opponents, and it's such an important part of getting a score on the board. And the way we test that is doing a 3K time trial. That's a traditional, pretty standard test used at AFL level, and one we've used since 2012. So most of the players in our program have got a benchmark time that they've worked off. So things to consider here. Number one, why do we test? In fairness to all players, especially those working hard on being fit for their country, we want as much valuable information to help us select the best players to wear the Canadian jersey. You can't accurately gauge fitness just by watching a game, and just to be aware that we don't often compare 3K times between players. If we've got similar players looking to compete for a similar position, we may compare times, especially if there's a significant difference between them. But generally it's one piece of information along with a number of others. It's an important piece of information, but it's only one piece. The time tells us the number of things, and tells us a number of things in our absence. We don't get to see most of you train, and we don't see the majority of you away from training. So your time can tell us your level of fitness. For example, if you run a 16-minute 3K, that tells us a story as opposed to a 12-minute 3K. It can tell us what position you might be suitable to. If you're running a 16, we probably won't be putting you in the midfield. If we do, it'll be for short spaces because you don't have that fitness to be able to run with your opponents that are elite fitness. And in case of existing players, your time that you're recording September will tell us a story about how hard you've been working to maintain and improve your fitness in the last 3 years for those who've been in 2014. Often I get asked what's a good time. So to give you an indication, our IC midfield, which is the 4 players in the middle and the 2 wings, had an average time of 13 minutes and 30 seconds. We had a couple of players above 13:30 and a couple below. We had 2 that were around 12 minutes 30, and that's a really strong time for AFL standard. That would be what I'd call exceptional, elite level there, so our girls are pretty gifted in that space. Our team as a whole averaged just under 14 minutes. We had a high of 16 and a low of 12:25. So if you've got ambitions of breaking into the lights, particularly in the midfield, you need to be around 13:30 at an average of around 14 minutes. And that'll give you an opportunity to compete from a fitness point of view, which is all we're talking about today. And our aim is to take a team across that is even fitter and faster than 2014, so that relies on us having a group of players that those that were there in 2014 have been able to improve that fitness base again, and our new players are able to step in and compete at that level too. How do you improve your fitness? We've got a running program which is a combination of aerobic running and also shorter football-based running, which if you don't have access to that, we can send that through. I'm pretty sure most people have got access to that running program now. Asking a lights player or a coach on how to interpret that if you haven't done running for fitness before. So at this point, there's 3 type categories of players we consider. There's the current lights that are wanting to retain their place. So as I said before, we're looking to take a fitter, faster group to IC17. So we're looking for our lights players to record as close to a PB as they can in September, knowing that they've got another year to get even fitter. So with another year of training, they'll be in a good position to be at their best for 2017. We've got those players outside of the lights that are wanting to challenge for a space. We're looking for them to improve their best time and show that from when they last did a time, when that might have been a year ago, to when we test in September, there's been a significant improvement. That would tell us a story of your commitment to the program and how important it is to you that you wear the Canadian jersey. And we've also, the third group we've got is those that are new to the national program altogether, may never have even recorded a 3K time trial. So our suggestion is to record a time as soon as possible this week if you can, and make sure you get it done on a running track so it's exactly 3 kilometres, and have someone time it for you preferably, and even better have someone run it with you to help pace you, because to get your best time. And then set yourself a goal for September. If you need help in setting a goal, contact myself or one of your coaches around that, or even a fellow player, to give you an idea of what a goal time meet might be. Remember, the time is important, but it's only one part of what we look at. Can you be selected for the lights with a 16-minute 3K? Absolutely, but we won't be selecting many. When we've got a group of players, especially like I said, in the midfield, half forward line, half back line, we're a running team, and so we need players that are comfortable running and running under duress. We're looking for players who are committed to footy, and in particular being committed to being the fittest and fastest version of you in September. So if you have any other questions around that, please reach out to your coaches or myself, and keep running, and looking forward to seeing you fit and fast in September.